Hello everybody, Akwaba Karibu, you welcome. Bienvenue to your channel. So, welcome back. We're back again this week with another showmentary of our favorite show, Put a Ring on It, Season 3, Episode 10, entitled One Last Date. So, let's get straight to it. So, this week, pick up again where we left off last week with the group session. Let's do a little recap when it comes to the date. So, our glamorous couple and our opposite attract couple have decided not to go on date this week. This is the final date, the final week for dates. So they decide to focus on each other. And the only, which leaves our last couple, which is the athletic couple, Otis and Charlena. They're the only ones who are going on date this week. So Otis is going on a third date with Sheree. Why? I don't know. We all know he doesn't fancy her. He's just doing it to get back at Charlena because she's going on a third date with Chris. So once again, it's being petty, tick for tack. When they ask him what he thinks about it, about Dr. Nicole, well, again, a petty answer, like he doesn't understand why she keeps going on a date with a guy that constantly disrespect her and the relationship. I mean, we get that is it gives a little bit of TMI when it comes to his sexual past, his sexual escapades, but he really seems to be feeling her, and Otis is just being jealous. I would agree on that point with Otis because that would be a turn off for me. If I meet you the first time, I don't need to know your sexual history. It's not that deep until we get serious, okay? So, yeah, and another point as well, Shay really voiced this week what I said last week about Otis' pettiness, and I said it last week in my video. If you haven't seen it, please go catch up that Showmentary as well. When I mentioned that Otis is just what's the word? Otis pettiness, that he was only going on a date. He only goes on a date as long as Charlena goes on another date. So Dr. Nicole gives them the assignment for this week, which is the ladies gonna have to try on their wedding dresses. Favorite thing for most women to do. Most girls dream about this. This is the big day. Plus, most women love shopping. So it's a combination of a whole bunch of things. So they're gonna have to go try on their wedding dress and picture themselves on the wedding day, looking at the partner, and you have to ask yourself if this is the right man, if this is Mr. Right, not Mr. Right now. If this is the guy you're ready to spend the rest of your life, in quotes, because most people don't, most people get divorced, but at least a considerable time of your life, considerable years with this guy. So, this is the question you have to ask yourself. So, the ladies, they all go dress shopping, like wedding dress shopping. So they're all chopping up about their problems, same issues, yada yada yada. I have to say, all the ladies look beautiful in the dress that they've chosen. For me, the best dress was definitely Shay's dress. It was gorgeous. I love the shape. I love the ornaments. I love the bedazzled. Everything was just cute, cute, cute. And then she had that shape. I don't know. I think she makes the dress because of a shape, because the dress can't make you, right? You make the dress. So yeah, I think Shorty's dress was cute, but I don't think that's the best dress for a shape, for a body shape. I feel like that dress really swallowed her. And for Charlena, I was expecting her to pick something classy, something like herself, because she's a classy lady and she seems to be like one of those type, like less is more. So I really, they've got their own different style, but for me, Shay is the one. Okay, so they talk about their issues and they discuss if they're ready to get married to their significant others, if they really see it happening. And I have to say, 2 out of 3 of them are delusional. Okay, Shay is delusional because she thinks that she puts on a last ultimatum saying that if he speak to his baby mama, then she's gonna get married to him. And I'm like, sorry, but for me, it's too little, too late. It's like you don't need to come on the show to do all this, jump through all these dramatics for him to make one phone call just to clarify your relationship. If he loved you and he respected you, he should have done this a while ago, like long time ago, centuries ago. like AD before Jesus Christ to go. This is crazy to me. Like the girl is delusional. And then we move on to a more delusional is Charlie now. Like, come on, girl. Otis is at this point is a narcissistic prick. His head is like a brick. So I don't know why she thinks that all of a sudden last minute is gonna change. I don't think this is gonna work out either. I think they're just gonna go for it for the show. Apart maybe from Shorty, because I feel Shorty she's the realist. I think she's more realistic, and I think deep down she knows that this ain't gonna happen. And I think she's letting us know as well that this is not happening because she said it last week. She doesn't see marriage with him. And the more we progress within the episode, the more we see why. Because Ken is just a fool. He's just acting a fool. I mean, it's a whole bunch of things. And it's also not a whole bunch of things, but marriage ain't one of it. You know, it's just not ready for marriage. It's not husband material. So I can appreciate Shorty's honesty and realism. But the others, I'm sorry, they're just delusional. Plain right delusional. So the couples go on dates. So as mentioned prior, Shay, Fonzo go on a date with each other. Otis go on a date, third date with Sheree, and Charlena goes on a third date with Chris. And Shorty and Ken will go on a date with each other. Yeah, to work on their relationship as well this week. So let's start with Shay and Fonzo. So Shay and Fonzo go on a date with each other. They go for drinks and they discuss what they've learned about the process. For me, this is the best date that they've had, not only between themselves so far, but also amongst all the couples, but also amongst all the dates, because you can see the genuineness oozing throughout their conversation, and you can also see both of them on each side the growth because they're talking about it, they're not arguing about it, they're not getting mad, they're joking. Like you can genuinely see that throughout the day they genuinely like each other. And if you like your partner, you're more or less likely to spend more time with him, to enjoy his company, and also stay with him for a longer period of time, right? So he said he's finally ready to say what she wants, like to rise up to her expectation, but she's still a little bit skeptical. And I think that that's all right. She should be because they've been there several times and he's never really actually made the jump, like cross that hurdle to finally speak to the mother of his child and clarify things, right? Like not to back down no matter how she feels. That's the big test for him. And we're going to see this episode if he's really gonna go through with it. So they seem happy, they're closer to each other. And I've noticed that both of them, but mostly Alfonso, he almost teared up when he was talking about his love for her. And he even got her flowers. Oh, that was really sweet. So we move on to Otis and his date with Sherry. So they go to a little place where they can eat something, I guess. And straight up when he came off, his vibe was like closed up. I don't like him. To me, it's weird. And I don't see how Charlena can has been able to put up with him for 3 years. I know we don't get the whole picture on this show and the editing as well doesn't help, but from what it's presenting to us, to me, I would not be interested in Otis in like a little bit, a tiny little bit, just a little bit. No. So it's a little bit standoffish. This time is a bit awkward. She also catches up on it and is more interested in his food than being into his date. And that makes sense because towards the end of the date, he lets her down gently and lets her know that he's going to carry on with his girlfriend, Charlena. And I'm like, what was the point of going on the third date anyway? You might as well spend that time and focus on your relationship like the other couples did, right? And Charlena, on her side, when she goes on a date with Chris, pretty much the same thing happens. They go for a drink and then Chris is really feeling her and he even lets her know that if it doesn't work out with Otis, she can always DM him in his Instagram. But she also let him know that she's gonna work things out with him and that 3 years is a long time. Ladies, 3 years is not a long time to break up with a dude. Like you're not even married to the dude yet. If you're not feeling it, it's okay for you to walk out the relationship. You're still young. It's better than to carry on with a relationship where you're not happy, do all the whole 9 yards, get married, have children, and realize few years later that you don't want to be with this dude. Like, don't stay in a relationship just based on the amount of time that you spend with him. Like, this is not like, it's not about the experience. Use the years that you got as an experience to move on to the relationship. Don't see it as something that should hold you to stay in that relationship, because most women, that's what we do. That's what we say to ourselves, right? And that's what she mentioned. She's like, 3 years is not nothing. She want to try to work on it because to see if it's workable. And I'm like, girl, it's too much. It shouldn't be that hard of a work. Anyway, so they both make the same decision to get rid of the dates and stick to each other. And I'm like, you see, you should have just gone on and spent that time, love on yourselves. Like, go on a nice date like Shane Alfonso, which would have benefited you even more. Okay, now let's talk about our last couple. I've come to the realization this is my favorite couple of the show. Not because they're making progress or because I like them, for real, but because they're entertaining, because they're bringing the entertainment. If it wasn't for them, I mean, let's face it, let's be real. This season would be boring. It would just be blah, blah, blah. But Kenneth and Shorty, they brought it. Almost every single episode, they brought the drama. So let's get down to it. First of all, they go on a date with each other. They go on something called a yoga cuddling date. Never heard of it, never been one of it. I'm not even a yoga fan, never done yoga in my life. So they go on that, and I can already see from the energy, the way Kenneth was walking in there, I was like, oh my god, there's about to be another argument. I mean, these people, wherever they go, whatever they do, they just can't stop arguing, and they always argue about the same thing. They go in circle and circle and circle. It's a loopy 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 loop that never ends. So they get there, and first the instruction, the first activity they gave them, I guess he has to lay his head on his lap just like they're watching TV, and then that will ease communication. But that don't even work, because by the time that Shorty brings the real issue and asks the real question, he's high. He's so high, he forgets the activity. He's up in there. They're arguing about the same thing. Basically, she asked him this. She wants to know if he has a plan for the next 2 years when it comes to them being together. You see, this is a very sensible question. It's a normal question, especially for a woman of a certain age. Basically, she wants to know what your finance is, what you want to do, like when it comes to kids, what you want to do with the house. If you don't have it together now, what's the plan? What's the next step that you're going to do? Something tangible, i.e., okay, I'm looking for a job right now. I'm going to get a better job so we can have more income. Something like that. But no, Kenneth does what Kenneth does, dancing around the issue for the last few years, just trying to sweet talk her for the last few years. And when the sweet talking don't work, he gets mad. So his other personality comes out, because he's a Gemini. So his other personality, Paul the Angry or Aaron the Drunk, comes out, and that's it. So they keep on arguing about it. And then that last activity was just cringy because they had to hug each other. And she even said it, Dr. Nicole, why are you fixing me up like this? I need to hug this dude that I don't even like. I can't even hold his hand. I was like, oh, you can't even hold his hand. That's when you know the relationship been over. Been over a long time ago. Been over before. Like, they didn't even need to get on the show. I think they just got on the show because for other reasons. Maybe for entertainment, for exposure, or maybe to get paid. For other reasons and to fix the relationship itself. That hug was cringy as hell. I wouldn't have given it to him. Listen here. If I don't feel like hugging somebody, I just won't hug them. I can't fake the funk. Okay? Especially with this COVID, monkeypox, chicken pox, dog pox, you name it, what kind of pox, what kind of diseases we have going on these days. If I'm not feeling you like that, and my instinct is telling me don't hug you, I just won't hug you. I don't want to catch no disease, no skin disease, none like that. They hug, and he's even hugging her tighter. You can tell she's not feeling like she can't wait to get away. But anywho, the end the date's already on a bad note. The argument carries on to the house. So they argued on when they get home. They argued before they go to bed. The whole night she tells us they've been arguing. And in the morning you see them again. They're at it. He's trying to do what we usually regular does. Trying to sweet talk her with some food. So I guess he made some chicken wings and asked if he wants some. You can already tell she's mad. You can cut the tension with a knife. She's upset. She's not trying to talk to him. I guess she can't leave because production is recording. So she has to be there for the episode. But I bet you if they were not recording, she would have left, right? So she's on the phone trying to do a couple of things. He keeps on talking to her. She's not interested in talking to him. And there you go. He blows up. We see the real meltdown of Kenneth. Like, we see Kenneth 2.0, 2.3. Like, his different personalities comes out. Like he said himself, he a Gemini. At first, when I went on date, I thought it was high. It was on something. Because nobody acts like that. And then as we saw the argument at the house the next day, clearly he was drunk. He was really, really drunk, making a fool of himself on national TV. Like arguing with his girlfriend, and not just arguing, like that petty, gutter, low down, dirty, low blow argument that you're not supposed to have with a girlfriend. That's the one that he was having. Calling her all kind of name, motherfucker. Like, when you listen here, women, listen here. Not just women, but fellas. If your partner calls you a motherfucker and they put that tension in it and that anger, you know, the way it comes out raw, like raw and angry, or if they say to you, F you can't come back from this. I can't come back from this. For me, the relationship is over 3 times because there is no apology in the world that's going to make me erase those feelings when you say those words to me. I mean, that argument was tense. And then you add the fact that he was acting a fool, trying to do cartwheels, trying to give her a kiss when he said he doesn't like her. He even told her, you were not my flavor from the beginning. And she admitted to it, and I'm like, damn, if both of you know you were not each other's flavor, why are you trying to have this ice cream in the first place? Don't make no sense. Finally, she kicks him out, asks him to leave there and then. And I thought, oh, really? And off you go. And she packed him up out of the house. And on top of that, we found out that he owes her money too. Like, Ken, really? Come on, Shawty was really a sugar mama in this relationship. And he was just taking all the benefits that he could get. All she was asking for was a plan. All you had to say, Kenneth, was, I'm getting a job by next week. So I can help with the bills. I'm going to start up a career, like something of an interest. You know, a plan. I'm going to sign up on a course so I can get this degree and then we can get more money. No, he couldn't even do that to save his ass. Getting up all angry, all puffed up. Yeah, he's the man and he's going to do this and that and the third. Only to end up on the street. Kenneth has been booted out. Kicked that hot kick. You know when they kick you like in Street Fighter or Taken 4? That's how Shorty kicked him out of the house. Straight up. And the irony is, he didn't even have a suitcase. I can't believe, like, this stuff for real. I can't believe this happened for real. Like, his personality, like, all his fatal attraction vibes were out and in full force. At one point, I was scared for her. Like, even one of the producers had to be like, come on, calm down. Because it was just too much. Like, I've never seen such an argument. Like, listen, I've watched many reality TV shows. But I've never seen quite a man arguing like this with his partner, with his girlfriend or wife or fiancé, whichever you want to call it. He is the first. And he's going to be on my mind when it comes to that argument for a whole bunch of times. Something wrong with Kenneth. Like, Kenneth need help, okay? He was clearly drunk. And you know when people are drunk, that's when the truth come out. Like Shorty said, he's got that liquid courage today. Yeah, and I think the liquid courage, coupled with the fact that he's been humiliated over the past few episodes, his ego really took a hit. And the fact that it's on national TV as well really amplified everything else. So all these three things combined really pissed him off to the point where it was like, hell to the no. Like, there is no point of return. I'm just going to go for the jugular. And that's exactly what he did. Like, he high kicked her and everything, thinking he was going to win. But in the end, she still got the last word because she kicked him out. And he left with like one suitcase and a couple of trash bags. And I'm like, Kenneth, really? A grown man like you don't even have a suitcase. And you packing your shit in some trash bags. Just pitiful. You know. And he talking about they should be friends and he might call her the next day. No, girl, block, delete, do everything you gotta do. So this nigga don't come back to your house. Like, no, They can't be friends. And she said it. I really hope she sticks to her guns, that she don't change her mind next week or the week after and so on. He's out of your life. Like, let him go. You don't need this stress. I was watching it. I was really scared for her. Like, this dude gonna really, like, the Fatal Attraction vibes really were out. Like, he couldn't just hide it anymore. If you haven't seen this movie called Primal Fear is one of my favorite movies. Came out in 1996 with Richard Gere and Edward Norton. Richard Gere, right? And Edward Norton. Go watch that movie. Because when I saw him having his breakdown, meltdown, whatever it was there, I straight away told her Edward Norton and his different multiple personalities. Now, 1 minute we got the drunk Kenneth, the hairy drunk, the drunk Kenneth. The next minute we get the angry one. The one after that we got the loving one. I mean, which one is it? Oh, girl. Anyway, I'm glad he's out of her life finally, and I hope she keeps it that way. Girl, you go do you. You go do what makes you happy, you know. I wouldn't advise going back to TV straight away. You know, take some time for yourself and chill and just enjoy life. So I believe next week is the last episode, and before the reunion and all that good stuff. I think they have like 2-part reunion, but we should see. I think a 2-part, so we can really go over everything. So we're gonna see next week who's gonna really go through it and who is not, because yeah, it's not given. Nothing is given. So we'll see what's gonna happen. Apart from, I think Shorty and oh boy, I think it's a wreck. So let me know what you think about this week Showmentary. If you've been working with the beginning, I thank you for that, total fam. If you're new here on this channel, this is your channel. I do this for you guys, and you help me build it. Help me build up this platform and have more subscribers. Hit the subscribe button, y'all. It's free. Alright? It's free and it means the world to me. So don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And also hit that button, that bell, so you know what's up next week. Okay? So, till next week, Turtle Fam. Bye.